Hello! Welcome, everybody! I said the next time I'd play Phoenix Wright, I would try to dress up for the occasion. I'm not wearing the red tie that I wanted to wear for it. I wanted to have the perfect tie for it. I tried to set it aside someplace where I wouldn't forget where it was located, and I somehow still forgot where it was located. You want to know where it is? You want to know where it is? It's on the door. It's on the door, so I wouldn't forget where it was, and I still did not get it right. So apologies, but it's over there. Welcome, Mackenzel. Thank you so much for the hydrate. So a lot's kind of happened. Number one, I decided to completely move everywhere I was streaming. So traditionally, I was streaming in my bedroom. I would have like that closet, that long closet in the background that would house like all of my Yu-Gi-Oh tins, all of my suits, all of my clothes, all of my everything, with very very bad lighting. And that's just where I basically sat and did everything. I worked in that room, I played in that room, I slept in that room. I didn't think it was like the most healthy environment. Just not a whole lot of space in there. So across like the last month or so, yeah, it's already warmed up. I know. I was just thinking, this is what happens when I go dormant and like just don't stream for a month, suitcase. It's just like the entire analytical mind just completely crumbles to dust. And so everything is just kind of moved back there. Whereas everything used to be like Sega CD used to be in this room, PlayStation used to be in that room, Saturn used to be in. Everything is here now. So I've got my Sega CD collection. We've got everything over there. Wanted to give people a little bit of a tour before we get started, since we're all kind of situated here and about to get ready. I'm going to go ahead and take my computer with me. Why don't I have a separate webcam? I don't know. Why aren't you in my house? It'd make it so much easier for me to show you all. So we've got our Remy Protection Squad over here. We've got the Lethal Enforcers cover. We've got the Snatcher covers with the guns. We've got Galleon, the Rocky Balboa, the Galleon Stallion over there, going to punch anybody that gets too close to Rami. You know her catchphrase, press B to start, Rami des. I'm pretty sure she says that. I'm not really sure. Probably in the Japanese she would probably say something to the equivalent of that. But the entire North American Sega CD collection is here. It used to be a lot lower to the ground in my brother's room, but it's here now. We have the Mato Monogatari. I ended up getting the stupid Carby spoon. I ended up getting that suitcase after you pointed it out to me. It's truly a museum, yes, and the Sega CD box is up there. It's the Model 2 with the pack-in Sewer Shark. We also have Sewer Shark's box down here. It has seen a lot better days. We also have a separate pack-in over there in case we ever really need to play Sewer Shark in its multiple iterations. We've got so much Night Trap and everything else. My Lunars are over here in the PlayStation as far as the completes. We've got the All the Lunar application over there. Um, we have several of my sealed PlayStation games that I wanted to try to keep separate from the rest of them. And down here is where I have like a lot of my odds and ends. We have my Saturn over here. We have the PlayStation Portables. We have like the Snatcher limited edition soundtrack that was put out by Limited Run Games. We have some PSP games. We've got my Lunar, a Game Gear game that I had played the translation of, but this is the copy, physical copy. We've got the Lunar Eternal Blue demo disc, not for resale kiosk that I showed off acquiring quite some time ago, as well as my a lot of my PC Engine games, the Atari Lynx, just a lot of everything is basically in this room now. So yeah, I'm really happy about the Game Gear acquisition. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up on chat now. You're not impressed until you see the Wirehead. Let's get it over. Let's get it off the shelf. Everything is in this one room now. There's our lovely cover of Wirehead. Basically the best FMV game that's on the Sega CD. It's just it was such a fun game to stream. And I wish there was more multiple I wish there were multiple endings, considering that unfortunately there's just a death reel of like a million different ways to die, and just unfortunately not a whole lot of other things to be able to do in that situation. And baby yelling give yes. And then we have all of my games consoles are down here. We have the Super Nintendo, the Saturn, the Analog Pocket dock that's there. There's our Panasonic 3DO as well as the TurboGrafx Duo, Analog Duo that's over here. Moving on to this side, we have my PlayStation 2. We have the Tower of Power with the Sega Saturn, excuse me, the Sega CD, the Sega Genesis, the 32X, which the 32X doesn't work, or I'd have played Knuckles Chaotix by now. That's really the big issue. Then we have the monster of the Philips CDI, which is huge. I don't know how the lighting is down there. And then we have the Wii and Wii U over there in the corner. So a lot of stuff in this room. And then over here we have an electric tea kettle. It's pretty terrible. It doesn't even play video games. I don't even know what it's doing in this room. And did you know? Did you know you have to go out and actually buy tea separately? You know what we call that? Day one DLC, and I disapprove. But it's been wonderful to actually have in this room in all seriousness, because I'd always have to go down and make tea separately, and now I can just heat up water here, and so that works out pretty well. The 120 volts of American kettle power. That's true. The Philips CDI VCR. That's correct. The extra the Virgin's PS2 Slim and the Chad CD. It's just unbelievably big. You can take the Model 2 Super Nintendo and you could fit like two and a half of them on top of it. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, that's the room. Is it usually this nice and clean, or is it usually a mess? It looks very good right now. There was no setup. In my other room, it was just wires all over the floor, wires coming out everywhere like Wirehead, and you have no idea how long it took me to untangle it. Consoles were littered everywhere. Wires were just bundled up. Here, you don't see any wires, and that's because I put them all painstakingly into separate bags that are labeled. That way, I only take out what I need, put back what I need, and replace it for another one. So it was just the chaotic mess, the wild wild west in my other room. There was no organization system. It just was, you just couldn't walk in the room. It was already a room that did not have a whole lot of space, and now you have even less walking room in it. So, but yes, so that's the room. Now, I won't be able, funnily enough, I will not be able to do a whole lot with that TV yet, until I get somebody to come back into this house. The reason is, while it looks wonderful and everything is over there, the outlet in the back behind it, I can't reach. I can't plug anything into it. I can't move it on my own. I'm gonna need more people to come in here and help me, because right now I'm not able to go back in and do that. So, but once that's all set up, I'll be able to do that. For the time being, I have been playing on over here. I have not been social distancing 6 feet away from my TV spot, with that kind of arrangement, but eventually I will be able to play over there and have a much better way to kind of position myself to be able to see everything. But yep, that's the room. A lot better lighting in here than the other one. So, all right. Let me know if any of you have any questions going forward about anything, because I was kind of going rather quickly, and I am having to move the computer to literally show everybody. Yeah, it's a night and day difference. It's actually a day and day difference because you can actually see the room. But thank you. I really appreciate it. I wish I had something a little bit more portable. But anyway, let me go ahead and close out of this camera, which I labeled big camera on OBS. And I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to small camera, which is back in its normal spot. And it's not working. One moment. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. I am doing well. So yeah, so let's kind of address the elephant in the room. Why I stopped. So, this is like less upbeat and fun, but basically what happened is I kind of got burnt out. I was in one of those ruts where I mentally was in a position where I'm like, oh my god, my entire life is regimented. I don't know how to have fun or entertain myself without strictly putting it on my calendar and strictly looking in different and cutting off all different windows of other possibilities. Like, in order to listen to music and album club, I have to go on a walk. I'd have to make sure there's absolutely nothing going on in my life. I never used to be like that. I used to be able to turn on the radio in the car and used to be able to listen to it anytime I wanted without being so uptight. I think work literally like broke me. And so I just had to kind of step away for a while. And I'm like, what do I want to do? What am I doing? It helped a bit. It really, really did. What? Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for the affiliate anniversary. Yeah, so it's like one of those situations where I'm I don't want to necessarily. It's tough to have that revelation though, Mackenzie. It's just like because I don't want to like. It's hard to like tell people like because I don't want to be like I'm saying this because I want attention or anything. It's just like I recognize I just need to step away for a bit. Um, as far as the streaming structure, right now, it's going to be 2 days a week. It's going to be Tuesday and Thursday for Phoenix Wright and or any other games I do. I was thinking about, am I ready to kind of introduce the redeemed games back in there? And I'm like, well, if I'm doing 2 days a week, that's 1 day a week and playing one game and 1 day a week and playing another. That seems like hardly worth it to do. So I think for right now, I'm just going to be doing this. I'll put games back. Everybody that redeemed so far, do not worry. I have everything logged and written down. I have not lost it. I've not misplaced it. We'll get to the PS2 Digi game. We're going to get to the Castlevania Curse of Darkness. All of those are still there. I'm just not quite situated to be able to do that, and but I will be eventually. The Phoenix Wright game is up there on that corner over there. That little cubby over here is where I put all my memory cards, like all of the Sega CD. Backup RAM cards, the Saturn RAM cards, all of the things that are so small that I would lose, they're all on that shelf, so I'll never lose them. Thank you. You're the reason I wore it. You're the one who was like, you know what, you should have worn that suit. And like, you know what, you're absolutely right. And so next time I'm on, I'll wear it. And so I wore it, except I couldn't find the tie. And as I was explaining to everybody else, I put it in a very conspicuous spot right there on the door that I open and close daily, multiple times a day. Still couldn't locate it. So I don't know what to do. What else I could have done, but hopefully playing Phoenix Wright will open up my analytical mind again, which may have laid dormant since the last time I played, evidently. But thank you all. So let me go ahead and with that, let's go ahead and turn on the Windows capture for this. My hair is all over the place, so I have to apologize for that. That is going to get cut this weekend. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliments on the suit. So let's go ahead and get that in. And with that, our capture card for the 3DS plugged in. There we go. And as always, if I need to make any sort of adjustments to volume, please let me know. We will not be updating the system. I think that would be a problem, actually. We'll do it later, probably another 13 years. Let's go ahead and get started. That's true. It just gets slicker and slicker as the time goes by. All right, so no music so far, as is typical. We'll go ahead and hit new game. We have Turnabout Memories. I am so excited. I've been wanting to get to the third game for so long. Huh. Ah, how did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Dead Street Fighter. Oh my goodness. It wasn't me. I didn't... Phoenix, wrong. I didn't do it. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. April 11th, 9:40 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Yeah, P! I noticed that. In case you didn't know it was Phoenix. They call him P for short. I don't know if you knew that. It's not Nick, it's just P. Go Mendy. That's his defense in court. I mean, I would accept it. Whew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. We haven't seen him thoroughly since the first game. He might have had a short cameo in 2, but I don't think he did. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. We're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed. Let go of my lapels. Lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg. I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean. What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see. I mean, of course I have. I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. That's a good animation. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yup, it'll be fine, no problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Why wear the most conspicuous clothing that they saw at the scene of the crime to the actual court trial? That seems like a bad idea. Mr. I, actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. Yeah, everyone go with it. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright, you have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. But please, let go of my shirt. Ugh. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new with this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. The clothes of the P-shirt. But this time I'll win. For my client, and for myself. April 11th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. I was too, considering they showed 2 people on the side of the defense. So I don't know where he went. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? Isn't that him standing? Yeah, I was about to say. He was there at the scene. Isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. Sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, they then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. We have the crime photo, number 1, added to the record. So there's more than one, since it's labeled 1. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a genteel man, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I could see that by touching the court record button. It's my attorney badge, proof of my profession. The first and last time I used it was a year ago. We have Doug's autopsy report. Date and time of death was April 9th at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Oh yeah, from touching all the wires in my old room. So definitely a cause of death there. Crime photo 1. The crime took place behind an Ivy University building. Touch the check button for details. Pardon me, I think I caught whatever Phoenix has. The court record. I think I can see that by touching the court record button. And there's the photo. I don't know what that is next to him. Is it a leaf? It might be a leaf there in the background. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. You tried to protect me in everything, I know, and I appreciate it. I wish I had just done a better job. Take a good, hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. Pardon me. I've got to stay calm. I can't let the prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just touched the court record button here. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question, what was the cause of death? Asphyxiation, electrocution, hypothermia. Electrocution? According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did he not read the court record either? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He is one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it in old Greybeard's face. Well, other than, okay, there's Marvin Grossberg's profile. My superior and the head of Grossberg Law Offices, age 61. There's Phoenix Wright, age 21, my client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. Doug Swallow, the victim. He was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Dahlia Hawthorne, age 20, gender female, Phoenix Wright's girlfriend. Dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Winston Payne, age 49, the prosecutor for this trial, a veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. I'm just now hearing about Phoenix having a girlfriend, okay. Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Dahlia. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. Shockstorm, welcome! I did take a sabbatical. I kind of left to kind of figure out how I wanted to kind of structure my time because I felt work had kind of broken me and I'm like, everything is becoming so regimented. I can't even enjoy playing games. I can't even enjoy listening to music. And I'm like, I need to just take a break and just kind of reset as much as I can. Obviously, I can't take a break from work. But I could try to take a break from streaming and just try to restructure myself. We're coming back temporarily on a 2-day-per-week basis, but I will be coming on more of an extended basis as time permits. I'm just not at that point right now. But we're going to slowly reintroduce the redeems and the people that are already redeemed back into the rotation. But welcome, Shockstorm and Arc Brigade. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecutor would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. Thank you for the hydrate. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you as, Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. I can't help but I'm so brain-rotted from the internet that I can't help think of that Lupin YouTube poop of Jigen coughing over and over every time I see that. Right away, Your Honor. The victim and I witnessed testimony. I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. Covering the eyes. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Then how did you know he has a British accent? Or British anything? I see, so you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Whew, it looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. You didn't know about... Oh, it's whenever we were sharing YouTube poops. I think several months ago, I posted like the poop in the second or something. It was one of the YouTube poops with Lupin. And I just keep thinking of like Jigen coughing over and over again every time Phoenix is coughing and sneezing. Huh? Hee. It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right. And it's the defense's duty to carry the cross-examination. I feel this is a lot more tutorial than even like the amnesia arc of the second game, which is interesting. It feels like you're getting even more like hands-on everything than the other two games. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. We'll have to keep going. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now, that there was a lie? A contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? I have such a long and prosperous attorney career ahead of me. You can't be screwing it up for me. I admit I was there. Oops, wrong button. It's been a while. That's how long it's been. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened, anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. Coincidence, huh? But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. You say you found the body? So who called the police? Huh? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body, but I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now, see here. You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me. Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly person? Yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Young love. But that's all I knew about him. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Chew. Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Yes, I know, but I liked the amnesia arc in 2 a lot. That was like one of the best introductions you could have possibly had to the game, I felt. It was so good. This is, I don't know yet. We'll have to see how this goes. It's definitely is treading how these two people know each other, which I think is nice that we're getting a little bit of backstory there, but I don't know how I feel about the tutorial side yet. We'll see. It is a little more heavy-handed than the first 2 games, I think. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor? What is it now? Who is this person anyway, this Union Jack fellow? The Union Jack is the name of the flag of England. Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right? Mia being so traumatized she can't remember how to be a lawyer is quite silly, I agree. I agree the amnesia angle worked really well, even though it was incredibly stupid. Yeah, it's like, that's the thing. If this was like her first trial ever, sure. But it's her second. And I mean, I don't know what traumatized her so much. Did she like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to open the court record. I do not know what button to push. Like, what happened? What happened in her first case? Like, what happened so much that she couldn't do it now? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there is a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg? Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? I can handle it myself. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia, one more time for the very beginning of his testimony. I admit I was there. We already heard that, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find the body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that second British wannabe. He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. The fact that he said always, you know... let me guess. He doesn't have it in his photo? Or maybe he did? I can't tell. We'll press that for now. Did you see it at this crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. Okay, oh, then we're back to this again. Okay. Something just occurred to me. Okay, so I really did. So let me go ahead. I can handle it myself. Apparently not, because I just looped. Okay, let's go ahead. I forgot I already pressed that. So do I need to present the crime photo? Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing written on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that's really was the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You had no idea at all what he was wearing underneath the jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Mia, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. It stands for Piss Baby. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Like from a fourth-year pharmacology student, perhaps? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand? Called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Hee. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this even have anything to do with this case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Yeah, it is pretty strange. Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at the photo from the crime scene. What was that even? Was that even there? Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, it's a different photo. I was about to say, how did I miss that? Okay. What's this in the victim hands? It's Cold Killer X. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. It kills colds good. I'm Sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belonged to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints were all over it. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so could only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. I wonder in this timeline, this far back, like how exponentially higher Gumshoe's salary was compared to where it is now. I'm just thinking in my head. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, did you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. Yes, we get it. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so he agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. I don't know when the clock stopped, but it does not look like a 2:45 to me. I think that's the... Oh, what's the time of death? That's probably important. 3 p.m. Well, that's not what the watch suggested. So, I guess that's our contradiction for later. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, yeah, so he'd wear the wristwatch. Which hand is it? He'd look at it like that. Is that technically like a little past 3, or is that like, am I supposed to look at it from this angle? His watch is secretly a statue. Yes, the thinker. We talked for a little bit, and then around 3 o'clock we split up. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different than the testimony you gave previously. Achoo. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Was the perfect case study for the wage change over the years. 60s Gumshoe could afford a house and kids. Yes, that's true. Could have actually... I don't... My goodness. I was worried that this game would be like even further into the future, and I was currently wondering what his salary was going to be. I guess this is a prequel. I guess Mia being on the cover should have been a clue, but it wasn't. So, the truth is, I went because he called me. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is? It's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart. What? What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IBU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. It sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details? About the timing of the meeting, about the pharmacology department. I'm gonna do the timing of the meeting first and then pharmacology. Are you absolutely certain you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. Oh, the part where they split up at 3. Well, still, the watch stopped after 3. I'm gonna press and then choose the other option, and then we'll continue. So let's talk about the lab. Our pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. The bots missed me. Get out of here. Thank you, Bear Kitty. High-voltage cables. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock, we split up. Educational Girk. Yes, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Achoo, achoo. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. I've been taking cold killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring. I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost a bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. On the day of this incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the 2 of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Youch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Be thankful it's not the hemorrhoids that are getting slapped. Anyway, next. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? I think the murder weapon is Phoenix Wright P-shirt sweater that had so much static electricity that it shocked him to death. That's my theory. Well, that is, You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Established murder method cannot right now. I don't know how I would even arrive at my weird theory. I don't think I can right now. I mean, it looks like there's a downed power line, does it not? Right over his body. I mean, I would think that's kind of a no-no. I mean, I don't know if I should... I'm gonna say... I'm gonna establish it and be wrong. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly this photo is the murder weapon? I mean, is that fine? Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe. Your Honor, remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cables. Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant. Achoo. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? It's five years younger, Lotta Hart. Get in here. His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at this crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm prints of the defendant's very own hand. What? I could only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable, or he tried to do chest compressions to revive him. But even so, why would he hide it? We still have no idea why he's, like, being so secretive about all this nonsense. Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. The P is for put him in prison. Your Honor, at this time I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Is he taking the fall for his girlfriend? Because, like, the girlfriend clearly doesn't show... isn't mentioned. Isn't anything in any of the other games. Did the girlfriend do it? Or is something going on with the girlfriend? Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute, Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further. I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. My goodness. That palm thrust. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Interesting. When was that a thing? I'm trying to piece that in my meme time capsule brain. I don't remember when the Harlem Shake became a thing. When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. Yeah, I was thinking, like, well, when was... Yeah, that's why I'm a little bit confused by that reference. I thought this was, when was this game released? This is a DS-era game, so... Tribulations release. It's like, what, 2007 or 8? 2004. Oh yeah, November, no, excuse me, that's the original Game Boy Advance. October 2007. Okay, it was 2007. Europe on October 2008. Yeah, strange out-of-pocket reference there. Yeah, this is the DS game. I'm not playing like an updated, like remastered or anything like that, or the trilogy. I'm playing the DS. Not a remake. As far as I know, it's not. Maybe the Harlem Shake sensation came from this game. It is truly a mystery. I'm going to object because the Harlem Shake wasn't that's the testimony we gotta press. But it's Mr. Grossberg's. Yeah, if it was, but it was, they said Harlem Shake. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried, so I went back. But he was just laying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. I've never seen doofus spelled D-U-F-U-S. I always thought it was D-O-O-F-U-S. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. When I pushed the victim, cross-examination. And we'll continue it in a moment, but for now, it is time for our first break. Everybody, please ruminate on what may have happened with the Harlem Shake and this game. In the interim, I will be back and see everyone shortly. The water in my electric tea kettle is still warm. It is an OXO brand. I think it holds up to about 1.75 liters, which you think would be a ridiculous amount, but I tend to fill it up to full about twice a day. I tend to drink a lot of hot water. So it's an 80s. Oh, okay, it's a reference to that 80s dance. I see. Different Harlem Shake that was invented in 1981. Okay, so it's okay. Well, I learned something today. Yes, it does. There's a knob feature, and there's also indicators that are if you're like not really sure. It says on the actual area below, like this for oolong if you want to have like an oolong setting. This for like green tea. This for like some kind of a white tea. This if you just want like boiled water for like cocoa or something. So there's a lot of different features and customizations, which I appreciate. So I've been using the different settings. I usually start my morning with like the green tea, and like I'll set it to like an oolong setting later on in the afternoon or evening. I've been enjoying it. But the water here, I mean, even after filtering the water and using it, I've had to descale this so early. Like they recommended after like 30 or 40 usages. I had to do it after like 12. It's like really, really lots of limestone and calcium, I guess, in our water. Just something we have to like wash out quite a bit of. All right. When I pushed the victim, that guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Fay, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. You just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. Wait a minute, you just said that you pushed him when he turned around to leave. How'd you push his chest? Because the first thing I'm like is, wow, you pushed him on his back and he landed face up? Like, how in the world did that work? And I'm like, oh, that's probably the contradiction. Maybe, I don't know. It's weird. A gentle light shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen? Right, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with this testimony, witness. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Hehehe. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. I think it's a crackle. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Oh, that's what that little thing was on the side. It was like maybe the tip of the umbrella. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in this testimony just now? Well, of course it's important. I think. This is it, Mia. This is the new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, the cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha, how perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella, and you are certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing the sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. My stomach is not to be used as a personal soccer ball, Mia. I'm so sorry. This is a weird character quirk did she do this in like the first case of one? I'm trying to remember, or did she just outgrow it? Continue on with your testimony, witness. Maybe she did and I just don't remember. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. We'll cycle back to that later. There's a reason she's doing this. Okay. Okay. Is it because I guess it seems to be every time Phoenix mentions her. I mean, I've noticed the timing. It has to do with every time he mentions all this lovey-dovey nonsense about Dahlia. After you shoved Dolly. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Nope, nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we could find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever. Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. Let's get out of the present. Oh, let's go to the press first, and then we go to the court record. Because the umbrella is there in the distance, and he's not on top of it. So we have to present that for contradiction. At first, I thought that was like that's a really tiny umbrella, but I guess it's like supposed to be perspective. No wonder he was soaked. It's just a tiny umbrella. Anyway, I'm sorry I made Grossberg get kicked in the stomach again. Anyway, why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order. The victim? He moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Umbrella added to the court record. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial. But as long as the smallest doubt remains, it cannot render final judgment. No! However, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix's testimony added to the court record. Well done, Mia. Let's take a look. The victim fell on top of the umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Okay. I think he said a little bit more than that, but we'll take that. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. It's witness time, that's what he's saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is the witness? Oh, it's the girlfriend? It has to be. She has to be relevant to this. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly. I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. April 11th, 11:52 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. What could Mia have planned? Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's all right. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy? You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life? Huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dahlia and I, we first met about 8 months ago right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me on the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. Before she gave it to me, she said, "I want you to carry this." So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. Purple heart. Yeah, I was trying to figure out like what. It's filled with memories of the darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. It's filled with Cold Killer X, like on whenever he needs it. It's great. Anyway, okay, so it's added to the court record. He shows it to everyone. Oh, well that... So it's like, hey, former boyfriend, take a look at this. So yeah, I guess that must have happened. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. Oh, because she's doing it to multiple. I was thinking if he was the former boyfriend, how would he not have this? I was like literally thinking in my head, like, wait a minute. So I was thinking, haha, you weren't loved enough to get one of these. But then like, so she takes it back. Okay, but he has it now. Okay, hold on. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in the courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? Why does she have that on her? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some relationship between these two cases, am I correct? Newspaper clipping added to the court record. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. Let me take a look at this. 8:28, almost 8 months ago, touch the check button for details. Murder in the courthouse? Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Oh. Okay. I need to finish this myself. Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at that downstairs reading room and see what I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. To be continued? So it's a pretty long chapter 1, actually. It's the longest one I think we've had so far. Out of any of the Phoenix Wright games. Courtroom number 2. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. The next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe he actually said that. Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You are all so nice. I almost feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. I see another reference. Sir? Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever's on your mind. I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeney wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it. Yes, I can see why you'd say that. She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. It is pretty 4kidsy. Oh my gosh, this defense level is over 9,000. I can't wait for them to bust that one out. They're just saving it for later. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Feeney and Dougie, they were still talking behind the building. Then, suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeney noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth. But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Teehee, you haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey? What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madam Fey. Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after the class was over. I'm gonna press. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Feeney, I mean Mr. Wright, is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senryu poetry. Oh, how wonderful! It's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes? Nothing left to do when a man reaches this age. Sleep is his best friend. That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that back area. Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors. How else would you enter? Teleportation? Feeney and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. So who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow.
were dating until about 8 months ago.
So what were Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway?
How can you be so mean? I would never. I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Fay. You'll drag the witness down to your level.
Why am I being
Demonized here. Please, go on. What did you see next?
Then suddenly, Doogie got all wobbly and just collapsed.
Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim? Is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Doogie.
If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Show contradiction. Well, I mean, the contradiction is evident because she didn't mention the snap. So up until this particular point, there's the wobble. I mean, ultimately both scenarios get him on the ground, but only one has a loud noise. She has not testified as to any noise. So if there is a contradiction, that's probably what it is. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we?
What? I would never. Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting. Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try and cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will, if you don't mind. I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Doogie.
You didn't see it?
Well, I saw the moment when Doogie fell to the ground.
And at that time, there was only the two of them at the scene? The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow?
Yes, that's right.
It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear any noise either. It's odd. Okay, so I'll have to... Well, that's pretty obvious to present Phoenix's testimony to. So then, what would it look like they were doing to you?
I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs.
Please try to stay on topic.
So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct?
That's what I was planning to do, but in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow, they all seemed to know what was going on.
The students knew what was going on? Press for more details. But how could the students have known what was going on?
Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just, they all seemed kind of excited about something.
It definitely doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students.
So did the students call the police? Yes, I was just so panicked.
Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear. That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. Okay.
Objection!
You say you didn't hear any noise. Is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? I... Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Ah! May I have a moment to answer? By all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet, so the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out.
Too busy listening to Gangnam Style? Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case.
There was lightning. I mean, she didn't hear anything. She talked about us being in a conversation. And she said it sounded lively, didn't she? Or it didn't sound too lively, making it sound like she heard the conversation. So that could be important. Lightning gives us a possible other cause of death in lieu of the obvious one we see. But other than that, I don't know why it matters. She was listening to music? I don't think that part is important. Let's see here. It's either she didn't hear anything or there was lightning. Clearly, the lightning is the most unusual part.
Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Faye.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution,
isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Oh,
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway?
This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
It appears the defense may be onto something.
Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't.
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location.
What?
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitively linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne?
Well, what is this evidence? This affidavit from Thor. Don't ask me how it got it. And who is the affidavit from? The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in the labs that day. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All the equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day. Was it a blackout? All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m., which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. Student's testimony added to the court record. Great batch thanks to the power outage. However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Fay, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable? Your Honor? I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? I think it was Cold Killer. X. I think it moved on from killing colds. Now it's killing in cold blood. Let's see here. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Was it the snap? Was it the loud noise? Thank you. Was it the loud noise from the sound and the sound wave? I mean, am I making this a little too complex? I might be making it a little bit too complex. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. Okay, that is it then. The defendant's testimony? He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. But we don't want... That's bad for us, though. It's not a good thing to deduce at all. I mean, it's like... it's not like we purposely murdered him, but it's making it sound like causation-wise we're responsible. I don't know if I like that route. Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion, and it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the oh, right, that's still that element. I forgot, I'm sorry. We had that whole portion of that whole thing establishing that, and I forgot it already. It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into the pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense, and then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the several cable in the foreground here. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order in the court. Ah, the lamentations of my enemy, how I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have done... Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? I forgot you were here. The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them. What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge? Thank you for the hydrate. Of course, it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
Is she? I mean, I don't feel like we're on to anything though. It's like Mia's like assuming like she's doing all of this and she's showing all. I'm like, I don't think she is. I don't think there's anything clear that you're really hyper focusing on. I think you're just saying stuff to sound cool. What I witnessed part two, just like being kind of like normally weird and a- aloof. I'm sure she's gonna turn like Mimi Meanie into because this game just likes having really savage redheads, I guess. I don't know. It just seems to be a thing that they do. The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. Might I direct you to the watch? So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time? I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge? Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. But now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination. What I Witnessed, Part 2. The truth is, Vinny pushed him twice, press. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Doogie. I know. I'm really sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge? Yes? Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury. Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, all right? Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge. Not at all. Ho, ho, ho. The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad. Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. Then Doogie tried his best to run away from him. So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones when you watched the scene unfold. What? Miss Fay, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wish the best for them both and that they would each give the fight their all. That's very sweet of you to be so supportive. And what happened after that? But Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket? Well, no, there weren't. Madam Fay, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? The cable snapping and Doogie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. I know I'm going to present the second photo of the watch to contradict that, but I'm going to press it for now. Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's understandable. Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold. If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. Okay, I'm ready. Oops, I pressed too fast. 1,
1, 2, 3, 4. Present. Crime photo 2, check. Yep, the wristwatch.
Objection!
That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Like this minute, which was actually longer than a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Would you care to explain to this court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Order in the court. What is all the... This is nonsense. The real murderer?
Objection!
Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you saying that could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer? Alright, Mr. Grossberg, I am sorry. Let's go ahead and actually pick Dahlia. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. What? How? How can you? The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. Yeah, the hemorrhoids did it. Yeah, he's gonna get penalized really, really hard. He's gonna get a swat right there, and that's gonna hurt really hard. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Mrs. Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order! Miss Fay. What? I mean, why? That is to say, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Ah! How could you say something so mean, Madame Fay? I didn't do anything. Where are her fingerprints then? If she did, I guess is that gonna be her counter? And then we have to go like, well, I don't know. The butterflies did it. Miss Fay, this is a very serious charge you are. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. Achoo. What is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Fay. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. I really like the mask flag up covering his eyes and then pulling it back, putting it over his mouth. It's a really good animation. It's so fast, you have to really look closely to see it, but it's good. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. We have a bailiff in court? How long have we had a bailiff? He must have quit after all the nonsense that's happened in all the other cases. Achoo. Leave my dolly alone. I guess so. That
boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Police report added to the court record.
Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Let's take a look. Okay, so District Courthouse Cafeteria, August 27th, 4 p.m. Diego Armando, age 28, occupation lawyer, suspect Dahlia Hawthorne, age 19. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Oh, through dissolved cold killer X, perhaps? I don't know. Probably not. You'd better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now then, the defense has made a Oh! Okay. I see. I see why she's... I'm putting together the pieces about why she's pissed now. Because the pieces were just, like, shoved in my face, and I'm like, ah, that's what they mean. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. Go right ahead. Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Doogie?
Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
I told you that you should let me handle this. Weep.
Sorry.
Please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear.
I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What could that possibly have to do with the case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant, am I correct?
Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact,
had a very good reason. Very well, then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. How I Met My Feeny.
I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again, you'll be held in contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. Or, as we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. How I Met My Feedy. Okay, so 8 months ago, press? So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow?
Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Maybe you should look for a different line of work.
Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini. It's like we're destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The courthouse reading room? That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeney was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case. Miss Faye, I'm warning you. If this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case, I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Keep pressing. The judge is a DJ? I don't know if I believe that. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think it can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well, young lady. I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I'd come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. You were writing a paper? On what? On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld. Oh, that sounds like a fascinating research idea. Am I getting old? Now I've even forgotten what I've forgotten. Again with the midlife crisis stuff? Mia, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I read it out loud, but the intimate parts of it... Yeah, so I knew, yeah, so Diego... I guess his nickname would be Diegi, or Armandiui. I don't know how to. It doesn't really work as a nickname. I can understand why she killed him. Let's see, lawyer Dahlia Hawthorne, and that's the ingested poison. And traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup, and no poison was found in the vicinity or on or the suspect's person. It's unclear how the poison entered. Got it. I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. So what was it about Mr. Wright that made your heart malfunction like that? In my personal opinion, he just looks like a typical snotty-nosed college brat. Perhaps to a woman your age, but to me, Feeney is handsome. Perhaps to you, Miss Hawthorne, but to the rest of the planet, he's a dime a dozen. Love is a mysterious thing, and I object to this line of questioning. If you were to look at my wife, for example, you might all be shocked. He's telling the truth. It was truly, truly shocking. Beautiful mushroom, growing tall in the darkness. It comes from cow dung. That's the poem that best describes how I feel about my Feeney. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. Were there any bad feelings between you and Mr. Swallow? No, none at all. We parted on very good terms. But that can't be. Our investigation also shows that it was a clean breakup. Huh? Are you sure? Yes, it seems that they both wanted it that way. So the victim wanted to break up with her? Press further. So you're saying that Mr. Swallow also wanted to break up with you? Well, you see... What a cruel thing to ask a lovely young lady like this. By the way, I've never once considered leaving my wife. No one cares, Mr. Payne. She didn't deny it. That must mean Doug Swallow must have seen through her little act. He must have gotten a glimpse of her true nature. Listen to me, Mia. That woman has a judge in the palm of her hand, you see. So the only way to discredit her is to find a contradiction in her testimony. Well, it's the reason she was at court. Yeah, so present the police report. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Fay? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report, and that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. What? The Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order, order, order. This is unbelievable. It's true then. The loveliest rose can hide the cruelest thorn. Miss Fay, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Expressed some interest, huh? Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Ooh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. You know an awful lot about this. It's like, I just have to read it straight. Not only that, I heard it was this very special kind of poison. So you would see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. Yes, you do. That's why you dated a pharmaceutical person. It's like, hey, I love you, and your drugs, and your stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. And I think that's where we present the pharmaceutical profile. I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do. We would present the profile of Doug Swallow, 4th-year pharmacology student. I mean, I'm putting it together in my head. I'm thinking that's exactly why they were involved at all. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today, and I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? 'Cause she's pointing. That's all it takes. Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing. The poisoning. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. What were you talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential. According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case. The lawyer that was killed, he said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you tell us all what that incident was? That has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case. Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign. Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady. Oh, Feeny, please. Those two really are making me ill, albeit for decidedly different reasons. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. hemorrhoids. How long were you gone? I've already answered all these questions for the police, but if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Fay? Toilet? My perfect little dolly doesn't poop. You heard the defendant, Miss Fay. Better luck next time. Oh, Feeny, please. The police have already looked into this whole matter. This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time. Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with her testimony. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons? What? What kind of question is that? Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says it's half fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? That does not help me mentally picture it. 2 teaspoons is fine. The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect. Oh, and where would something like that come from? I'm sorry. All I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it. Chemical processes. Well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive. The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that? So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. I would still want to press, and then we'll present the picture. And that's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison? I think that's a good enough reason, Madam Fay. She's right. And I think we've all had enough of Mrs. Fay's questions. So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison. And all we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great. Now just how did a lit student girl get a hold of poison of all things? Okay, let's take her down. Present, profile, Doug Swallow. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then, it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table, you. No! Order. Could it be? That's nothing but a baseless accusation. May I say something, Madam Fay? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you need some kind of container. The locket. That's why she needed it back. We put it all together. Well, yes, that's true. I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. I know. That's why I was able to figure it out. I even joked about Cold Killer X being in there, so it wasn't a stretch for me to be like, oh, wait a minute. My joke from earlier. Of course, it's fun. I love it when I make a joke, and then the joke turns out to be like how it's actually carried out. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Here's your locket. Why don't you chug it down? Proof? She's got me good with that.
Provide some evidence or we'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Fay. Unless we can come up with some kind of evidence, we're going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full-body search of Dolly and of the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse a young lady of committing the murder, then where is this container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who was this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him disguised as a present. What? But that's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Fay? The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, the very same day as this poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! Wah! Order! Order in the court!
Objection!
On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love? I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone the real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is she's madly in love with you. Aw, true love wins because of that necklace to keep you quiet. I mean, it's because of the necklace. I mean, to keep you quiet. Why would him talking matter? Clearly, he wasn't quiet. He shoved the necklace in everyone's face. It's because of the it's because of the necklace. That's why it cold killer EX. I mean, it kills colds good to take the poison. I agree with you. Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room. You said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying, but you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. Wah. Mia, are you alright? Ah, the defendant. He's getting away. Bailiff, hurry, after him. Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy. He went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be brought back here soon. Thank goodness. Oh no! What is it? The bottle necklace!
Mrs. Hawthorne's friend. No. We're never gonna see this chapter end. Oh my gosh, it's still going. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry. Well, it won't be unprecedented for much longer. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay. Just give back the necklace. I ate it. You what? You ate it? It was too big to swallow. So we had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah. What the? What? What is he doing now? Your Honor, we've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem. No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution's side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. He's too stupid to get poisoned. I know, right? The cold virus is the only thing keeping him alive. That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in a court of law, evidence is everything. Even though I've proven so much, is she going to get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial. Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind, but I didn't actually eat it. What the hell did I eat? I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? Yeah. What is it? That day. The day I met Doug Swallow. That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. Oh, she was teabagging him. The disrespect. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, the defendant is Miss Fay. You tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that this is Dahlia Hawthorne. Check the, Oh! It's in the sleeping pills. It's in the Cold Killer X. He missed his dosage that day. And he left the bottle in that one room. So he didn't actually die. He was going to die if he took the Cold Killer X. So that's where the poison's at. And then that's how we're gonna get her. That's my deduction. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. Night before? Naturally, the motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Fay. If you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore, exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Phoenix Wright. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way, and that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was in fact you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time, but there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that last piece of evidence. That can't be true. Feeny, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne, it appears that this trial will be coming to an end soon. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Well, hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind. But you're not finished. Fine.
Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. Hemorrhoids.
The ultimate price?
You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
No!
You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Fay. Or should I say, Miss Gray? Oh, we can't let her get away with that one. Well, Miss Fay, can you provide evidence that would establish your guilt once and for all? Can you provide justice for all, Phoenix Wright, too? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof.
Impossible! You can't possibly!
Stupid woman. It is the opinion of this court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. I should save anyway, but I should have not done any saving up to this point. But I know I'm right. I know I'm right. I have to be right. It has to be the pills. Allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you aren't able to establish your guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor.
It has been. Yeah, I've kind of enjoyed the twists and turns of this one. I initially I'm like, this seems to be the worst of the three so far. And then I'm like, okay, it's turned around. Like, this is the opening case? Pretty nuts. I could just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show the court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. It's in his face mask the whole time. No wonder he's dying. It is in the Cold Killer X. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright beloved cold medicine? Oh, he's famous for that, I guess. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime of the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took this bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. And now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Huh? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the meeting room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. Here, feeling a little under the weather, witness? Would you like, Cold Killer X? So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't... Yes. That's exactly what I would have said. That's exactly what I would have told her to do. I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Yeah. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now, if it's your turn to prove your innocence, what do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being. Victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? Oh, wait, yes. I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. Whew. It's finally all over. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't even showed a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim, like forensic analyze the medicine, like go to the pharmaceutical students, they'll answer the questions. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care, I'm Winston Payne, and I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Want some cold medicine? Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said. There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yeah. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? Yeah, my hair. It's flying off. My beautiful hair. No. Oh, no. That's exactly what happens to Kaiba after he got Exodia'd. Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fey. Yes, Your Honor? You said earlier that you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne knew each other? Your Honor, how we knew each other had nothing to do with this case. Very well. Mr. Payne? This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter. It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does this defendant have anything further to say? Oh yeah, he's still here. It can't be true. My dear Dolly. Achoo, achoo. Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not lovable. The court is adjourned. April 11th, 3:16 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode, like Mount Vesuvius. Not a good mental picture at all. Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with a client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations! Thanks. I was thinking. Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, isn't she hot? I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Oh, this hemorrhoids got edited out of the anime. What a tragic loss for all of us. You trust in your client like a Pokemon. Yes, very true. You teach me and I'll teach you. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. We should talk about Mimi Ini about that. She'd know all about it. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company must this guy keep? Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I guess I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should be able to save him in time. I see. Same as Faye? A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Welcome back, Hikaru. I think we're just about to put a close to case number 1, and I think when we close case number 1, that's going to be a very effective stopping point. I was actually surprised. This was a full case. This was a longer case 1 than any of the case 1s up to this particular point. I was thinking it was going to end a lot sooner. I think basically off of my previous experiences with case 1s, and the fact that it kept going, it kept ramping it up, and it wasn't beyond my scope to envision, but it still threw some surprises that I wasn't aware of immediately, but I did discover them pretty close towards the end. But welcome back. Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope. Thank you. I hope we see each other again someday, maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia had passed on to a better place. I have to wear the pea sweater. Now, where am I going to get that? My goodness, I do not have that kind of a wardrobe. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. Would you say it also brings up tribulations? But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Yeah, I was about to say, no, she was there in the background of Mia's body being like, haha, gotcha, bitch, and then left, I think is probably what happened. I don't know. I have no idea. I guess she never did. I'm sure we'll never see her again. I don't know. I guess she is, it's weird. So she didn't have, like, the stereotypical, like tearing her face in rage type of way. She's, like, basically like, I'll be back. So I guess we'll see. Mia's gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. something has happened that made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. You don't know the half of it. That other day will be Tuesday, in fact. We'll save. I want to at least take a look at the preview screen to see what 2 is going to be. The stolen turnabout. Now, will it show us a picture? Okay, we've already actually, this all was revealed the first time. And I never noticed Dahlia in the bottom left corner next to turnabout memories. I was so busy looking at the top, and I thought like the bottom was just going to be legs, but I guess she's there on the corner. All right. Well, that was a fun stream one. I will say, as far as that case, I think it's the second best. I still like the second one's amnesia plot a lot more. I think it really got you pumped and invested in the plot immediately. This one kind of had you go, I want to say almost to a full sprint. It really was hand-holdy at the very, very start, and then it's like it's a whole case now. The first one I felt was the second best up until this one picked up. Just because I kind of liked its level of simplicity with the thinker statue and everything else, and the fact that it's tying with everything. Overall, it's still too early to kind of judge it ultimately. I think it was a very good case. I did like the fact that I did accidentally theorized that the bottle holding medicine was actually going to be important. I certainly meant it as a joke, but I like that it turned out to be true. I needed more people getting hit over the head with blunt objects. Hey, this game's not over yet. You never know. Something else could be happening. I actually don't know how many chapters this game has. I know the second game had, I know the first one had 5, with that including that bonus chapter. Second one had 4. But the fourth one, my goodness, was a very, very long one where every fighter was here to take down the big bad. I still I have to admit, I still like the first cases with Von Karma and Gant over that one. And it's mainly because while the second one had like every fighter kind of coming together to take down that one individual, I thought that was cool, but in the back of my head, I'm like, really? This is the one that takes everybody? Not Von Karma, not Gant, this random one-off character, and that ended up having to kidnap Mia, or excuse me, kidnap Maya, which in some way, shape, or form, something always happens to Maya. So there's always that's not even really a unique element. Something's always happening to her. So like in that extent, I still felt it was very, very good, but I still prefer Chapter One's cases as far as that one over it, just because I felt the takedown was just so much more satisfying, even if it didn't utilize absolutely everyone to the extent that 2 did. Anyway, that's my onion. I don't think I ever fully kind of fleshed that onion out when talking about 2, but it's one of those things that I'm like, whenever I get to 3, I'll talk about it. Ultimately, all of the cases are great. Phoenix Wright is great. I love this series, and I'll be back with it on Tuesday. I have no idea if we're going to be able to finish episode 2 in one go. My assumption is going to be probably not. It's probably going to be we'll probably save like right before a trial or right after a trial. There's definitely going to be an investigative phase. I don't know what the investigative phase is going to involve. We had Psyche Locks in 2. This could add a whole new thing. We're blessed to have guard streams back in life. That is a very sweet thing to say. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the company. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Uh, I thank you for returning to the law. You're very, very welcome. And I will be returning to the law both off stream and on stream. That's how devoted I am to the law. So I will. I'll be back. I'll have to announce. I haven't thought about what game I'm doing after Phoenix Wright yet. I know I want to eventually return to the Cosmic Fantasy series, but um, I know I'm pretty sure that a game that's coming after this game we already know. I kind of made a promise to everybody that at the start of 2026, very similar to Lunar Legend, we were going to have to play another Lunar game. It's the Forbidden Lunar game. It's the PlayStation Portable game, Lunar Silver Star Harmony. And that is the only game other than the the version of Magic School that is still being translated right now. I have not streamed. I have streamed every other game, including arguably the completes now since I played the remastered version, but have not streamed Harmony. So we need to add that to our list. And so that is going to kick off. Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So I look forward to playing that and doing all the things I need to do in that. I'm probably going to have to look up some things. I'm sure they've probably added. I don't know if they added any of the bonus dungeons. Can't remember if they added any dungeons like similar to what Legend did. I'll have to really look because Legend had some nebulous secrets. You have to refuse the shopkeeper 5 times with the dragon diamond, and then you get like a limit break item. That's weird. Anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. I will see everybody back on Tuesday, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And watch out for the cold medicine. It's gonna get you.